Attention seniors. If you've ever felt helpless, confused, or taken advantage of at an airport, you need to hear this right now. Airlines and airports are legally required to provide you with 10 specific rights and services, but they almost never tell you about them unless you specifically ask. The U.S. Department of Transportation just finalized a sweeping rule effective January 16, 2025 that strengthens protections for travelers with disabilities, and approximately 5.5 million people in the U.S. use a wheelchair, with DOT data showing that 1 wheelchair out of 100 is damaged, delayed, or lost. Even if you don't use a wheelchair, you have rights that airports deliberately hide from you. I'm retired airline customer service manager Patricia Williams, and I spent 20 years working for major airlines and watching seniors get denied services they were legally entitled to simply because they didn't know to ask, and today I'm going to reveal exactly what those 10 hidden rights are, why airlines profit when you don't know about them, how to demand the services you're owed, and most importantly, what to do when an airline tries to deny you. So stay with me until the end because I'll also share the one magic phrase that forces airlines to provide immediate help, and it works every single time. And if you're watching right now, please hit like so YouTube shows this to other seniors who need to know their rights, and comment below. Have you ever been denied help at an airport or felt like you were treated unfairly? Why not knowing your rights costs you? If you don't know your rights, you're going to spend hundreds of extra dollars, miss flights, endure unnecessary physical pain and exhaustion, and be treated with less dignity than you deserve. According to the Department of Transportation, most passengers don't know their rights under the Air Carrier Access Act, which has been protecting travelers with disabilities since 1986 but applies to everyone needing assistance. The recent rule changes effective in 2025 mean better training for workers who assist individuals with disabilities, improved notification and handling of damaged wheelchairs, and safer onboard wheelchairs. But airlines are not advertising these improvements because every service they provide costs them money. In September 2025, the Trump administration withdrew a proposed rule that would have required airlines to pay passengers $200 to $775 cash compensation for delays caused by the airline, plus reimbursement for meals, hotels, and rebooking costs. The rule was scrapped after airline lobbying groups claimed it was burdensome and would raise fares. This means passengers today have extremely limited rights for delays, making the rights you do have even more critical to protect. The disability community has been fighting for years because unsafe, inadequate, and undignified assistance is widespread. Delayed and damaged personal wheelchairs, unsafe transfers to and from wheelchairs and aircraft seats, and lack of prompt wheelchair assistance at the airport are constant problems. An American Airlines $50 million penalty in 2025 for numerous serious violations of laws protecting passengers with disabilities between 2019 and 2023 shows how widespread these violations are. This fine was 25 times larger than DOT's previous largest penalty and set a new precedent. Your dignity, your money, and your ability to travel safely all depend on knowing exactly what airlines must provide you by law. Right 1, free wheelchair assistance. Even if you don't own a wheelchair, this is the most important right that seniors don't know about, and it's completely free. Airlines are required to provide you with prompt assistance after you self-identify to airport personnel as an individual who needs assistance. You do not need to own a wheelchair, you do not need a doctor's note, and you do not need to prove anything. If you simply tell airline staff that you need wheelchair assistance to get through the airport, they must provide it at no charge. Airlines are required to provide assistance to passengers with a disability as they navigate through different portions of the airport, including assisting you from the terminal entrance or vehicle drop-off point to the gate location where your flight is departing, including the security checkpoint, and onto the aircraft to your seat, assisting you from your aircraft seat on an arriving flight through the airport to the gate location of your connecting flight if you have a connection, and assisting you off the aircraft and through the airport when you arrive at your destination. According to 2025 guidance, passengers must not be charged for wheelchair assistance or the transport of wheelchairs or mobility aids. The service is legally required and completely free. You can request wheelchair assistance when booking your flight by selecting special assistance or accessibility needs, or you can request it at the airport by going directly to your airline's check-in counter or finding a designated assistance point near the terminal entrance. While it's recommended to submit your request at least 48 hours in advance to guarantee availability, last-minute requests are still accommodated where possible. Here's what many seniors don't know. You can request this service even if you don't have an obvious disability. If you have reduced mobility from arthritis, back pain, hip problems, or you simply can't walk long distances, you qualify. In situations where there is uncertainty about the access needs of a passenger, a carrier may ask for credible verbal assurance that the passenger needs the service and how the service assists with the passenger's disability, but this inquiry must not be focused on the nature of your disability. Right 2. Airlines cannot leave you unattended for more than 30 minutes. This is a powerful protection that most seniors don't know exists. Airlines cannot leave a passenger unattended for more than 30 minutes in a wheelchair or other device in which the passenger is not independently mobile. If airline staff wheels you to a gate area or security checkpoint and then disappears for 40 minutes, that's a violation of federal law. Airlines cannot require the passenger to accept a specific form of assistance that he or she does not request, for example requiring a wheelchair when a sight guide was requested. If you need assistance deplaning when you arrive at your destination, you should know that airlines are required to provide prompt assistance, which means when the last passenger who did not request deplaning assistance deplanes. Your wheelchair or mobility device should be waiting at the aircraft door, and staff should be ready to assist you immediately. Disability rights organizations have pushed for even stricter definitions of prompt assistance. Colorado Cross Disability Coalition and Disability Rights Maryland commented during rulemaking that assistance with moving from terminal entrance through airport should be available within 5 minutes of request if pre-arranged and within 15 minutes if not pre-arranged. Assistance to make a connection should be available within 10 minutes of landing or more quickly if there is a tight connection. And assistance with deplaning should be available immediately after the last person without a disability has exited, meaning the aisle chair and staff are waiting and the personal wheelchair is at the door without damage. While these specific time frames weren't adopted in the final rule, they represent best practices that good airlines follow. If you're left sitting alone for more than 30 minutes, that's when you need to speak up and file a complaint. Right 3. Access to a complaints resolution official. Every airline is required to make available a complaints resolution official, or CRO, at no cost to you, either in person at the airport or by telephone during the times they are operating. A CRO is the airline's expert on disability accommodation issues and is trained to resolve disability-related issues on the spot. If you believe your rights under the Air Carrier Access Act are being or have been violated, ask to speak with a complaints resolution official. Airlines are legally required to provide one. The CRO should be able to resolve issues immediately without you having to file formal complaints or wait weeks for a response. This is your fastest path to getting problems fixed while you're still at the airport. Many seniors don't know to ask for a CRO, so they end up arguing with gate agents or customer service representatives who either don't know the rules or don't care. Gate agents have limited authority and training on disability rights. A CRO is specifically trained and empowered to make decisions. The magic phrase to use is, "I would like to speak with your complaints resolution official right now." That phrase triggers a legal obligation. The airline must produce a CRO for you. If they claim one isn't available or try to brush you off, repeat the phrase and add, "Federal law requires you to provide access to a CRO, and I'm not leaving until I speak with one." In addition to the CRO process, passengers with disabilities who are not satisfied with air travel services may file a complaint with the airline or directly with DOT. Airlines must respond and directly address the disability-related issues in your complaint in writing within 30 days, but airlines are not required to address complaints sent more than 45 days after the incident unless the complaint is referred to the airline by DOT. This means you need to file complaints quickly while details are fresh. Right 4. Your assistive devices don't count against carry-on limits. This right protects not just obvious mobility aids but also canes, walkers, portable oxygen, and other assistive devices. Assistive devices must not count against the passenger's carry-on limit. If you're traveling with a cane, walker, or portable medical equipment, the airline cannot force you to check those items or count them as one of your allowed carry-on bags. You get your normal carry-on allowance plus your assistive devices. Priority in-cabin stowage, either a closet or a row of seats designated for seat strapping, must be available for at least one normal-sized collapsible manual wheelchair in any aircraft with 100 or more passenger seats. Airlines that use seat strapping should provide space for at least 2 of these wheelchairs if stowing the second wheelchair would not displace passengers. Manual wheelchairs that cannot be transported in the cabin must be transported in the cargo compartment consistent with safety and security requirements. Airlines must accept a battery-powered wheelchair if it fits in the cargo compartment and can be transported consistent with safety and security requirements. Airlines must also provide for the checking and timely return of assistive devices at the gate for use in the terminal. What this means in practice is that if you have a manual wheelchair, you should be able to use it all the way to the aircraft door, then have it returned to you at the aircraft door when you land. The 2025 rule changes specifically address this, requiring airlines to make sure airport wheelchairs are available as close as possible to the door of the aircraft and to timely return your personal wheelchair as close as possible to the door of the aircraft to the maximum extent possible. The only exceptions are where this practice would be inconsistent with federal regulations governing transportation security or the transportation of hazardous materials, or when you request the wheelchair be returned at a location other than the door of the aircraft. Right 5. Full refunds for canceled flights and accessibility issues. This right just got significantly stronger, and most people don't know about it. If your flight is cancelled and you don't accept an alternative flight the airline offers, you are entitled to a full cash refund for your ticket and add-on fees like seat selection or baggage. This applies regardless of whether you bought a non-refundable ticket. The Department's Office of Aviation Consumer Protection has for many years interpreted federal law as requiring carriers to provide prompt refunds when a passenger does not take a flight because the flight does not accommodate the passenger's assistive device such as a wheelchair. The FAA Reauthorization Act of 2024 codified this long-standing interpretation into law. What this means is that if you arrive at the airport with your wheelchair and the airline tells you it won't fit on the aircraft, or if accessibility features you need aren't available, and you choose not to fly as a result, the airline must give you a full refund. The recent rulemaking also sought comment on whether airlines should be required to reimburse the difference between the fare on a flight a wheelchair or scooter user took and the fare on a flight that the wheelchair or scooter user would have taken if their wheelchair or scooter had been able to fit on the flight. While this specific requirement is on pause due to the Trump administration's regulatory freeze, the underlying refund right remains in place. For delays, the situation is different and much worse for passengers. Contrary to popular belief, for domestic flights airlines are not required to compensate passengers whose flights are delayed or cancelled. The Trump administration formally withdrew in November 2025 the Biden-era plan that would have required airlines to pay $200 to $775 for delays of 3 hours or more, calling it regulatory overreach. Airlines in the U.S. must refund passengers for cancelled flights but are not required to compensate customers for delays, unlike the European Union, Canada, Brazil, and Britain, which all have airline delay compensation rules. No large U.S. airline currently guarantees cash compensation for significant flight disruption, though some may voluntarily offer vouchers or amenities at their discretion. Rights 6, 7, and 8, Seating, Information, and Boarding Rights. Let me quickly cover 3 more critical rights that seniors need to know. Right number 6 is seating accommodations. Airlines must allow a passenger with a disability who self-identifies at the gate as needing additional time or assistance to board, stow accessibility equipment, or be seated the opportunity to do so. Airlines must also provide certain accessible seating like bulkhead seats for passengers who need them and movable aisle armrests on certain aircraft. Right number 7 is your right to receive information in an accessible format. Passengers who identify as needing visual or hearing assistance must receive prompt access to the same trip information as other passengers at the gate, ticket area, and customer service desk. If you're deaf or hard of hearing, inform a gate agent or flight attendant so they can make sure you receive a safety briefing and important flight updates. Open captioning is available for safety videos. Airlines' primary websites must be accessible if the airline uses an aircraft with more than 60 seats, and airlines must ensure that automated kiosks they installed after December 2016 at U.S. airports with 10,000 or more annual passengers are accessible models until 25% of kiosks at each airport location are accessible. Right number 8 is advance information about aircraft capabilities and limitations. Airlines must inform you of any aircraft-related, service-related, or other limitations on the ability to accommodate passengers with a disability, such as limitations on level entry boarding. Airlines must provide this information to any passenger who states that they use a wheelchair for boarding, even if they didn't request the information. This is important because if you're planning to travel with a wheelchair, you need to know in advance whether that specific aircraft can accommodate your device, and the airline is legally required to tell you. Right 9 and number 10 plus how to enforce all your rights. Right number 9 is your right to travel with service animals. The Air Carrier Access Act requires airlines to allow service animals to accompany passengers with disabilities, and airlines cannot charge extra fees for service animals. Airlines can ask what tasks the animal is trained to perform, but they cannot require special documentation for dogs that are clearly marked as service animals or where it's obvious the animal is performing a service task. Right number 10, and this is huge for 2025, is enhanced protection for wheelchair damage. One of the major provisions of the 2025 final rule moves the responsibility from the owner of the wheelchair to the airline if the wheelchair user loses their chair or requires a replacement. Airlines now have stricter liability when passengers' wheelchairs or other assistive devices are not timely returned in the condition they were received. Airlines must notify passengers before departure of their right to contact a complaints resolution official and file a claim if their wheelchair is damaged. You can file a claim for wheelchair damage without having to return to the airport, and claims can be filed within 15 days after your arrival or return of the assistive device, whichever is later. Now here's how to enforce all these rights if an airline tries to deny you. First, always remain calm but firm. State clearly, I am aware of my rights under the Air Carrier Access Act, and federal law requires you to provide this service. Second, immediately ask for a complaints resolution official by name. Say, I need to speak with your CRO right now. Third, document everything. Take photos, write down names and times, and keep all boarding passes and receipts. Fourth, if the issue isn't resolved immediately, file a formal complaint with both the airline and the Department of Transportation. You can file DOT complaints at transportation.gov/airconsumer. Fifth, know that the $50 million fine against American Airlines in 2025 shows that DOT is taking these violations seriously and will penalize airlines that don't comply. Your rights are real, they're legally enforceable, and you deserve to be treated with dignity and respect every time you fly.